our guest speaker today, Miss Tammy Pennington. She's a health educator for the Cumberland Valley Health District, which serves the three counties of Clay, Jackson, and Rock Castle. That's in Kentucky. Is that, you guys are more central?
Southeastern.
Southeastern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Southeastern Kentucky. She's a liaison between the health department and all the community related events. She is also the coordinator for the Clay County Diabetes Coalition, as well as the coordinator of the Child Fatality Review Team in Clay County. She serves on many boards, including the Southeastern Oral Coalition, Cumberland Valley Regional Interaction Agency, and a participant in the Community Relations Board at Dismiss. Is it Dismiss?
Dismiss Charities. Mm-hmm.
Dismiss Charities.
Mm-hmm.
And I will turn things over to you, Tammy, and we'll just play it by ear. You can stop and ask questions, or guys, you can just raise your hand on the chat there if you've got a question for Tammy. We just kind of do this as just kind of sit back and relax, and we just talk things through, and I'll just leave it up to Tammy.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you so much, Sheila. I'm glad to be here today, and good afternoon to everybody. And like she said, my name is Tammy Pennington. I've been here at the Clay County Health Department since May of 2017, so I'm going on 6 years here, and I serve as the health educator here, and it's a really beneficial and fulfilling job. I get to interact with a lot of communities and participate in a lot of community events, so I've enjoyed my 6 years here. Hope to do several more. But I wanted to come to you all today to tell you a little bit about our Clay County Diabetes Coalition. So we were actually awarded a $10,000 grant in, looks like June of 2019, and it was for the counties of Clay, Jackson, and Rock Castle. So we are a district health department here, and we serve those three counties.
Recording in progress.
And our Clay County Diabetes Coalition was formed in July of 2019. And so it's been ongoing for 4 years. We're very happy to state that we are still in operation. We still try to meet on a monthly basis. There's been a lot of months that we haven't been able to meet. COVID, for example, we weren't able to meet as a coalition, but we have been trying to get back to our monthly meetings. Our mission is to increase the health and wellness of Clay County residents and families who have or are at risk for diabetes through physical activity and health education opportunities, thus creating an overall healthier Clay County. So our coalition members, we have several coalition members that come from several sectors in our county. Of course, Clay County Health Department, that would be me. Cumberland Valley District Health Department, we have a community health educator, that's Marcia Garrison there. With the University of Kentucky, we have Kim Smith, who works for Kentucky Home Place through the University of Kentucky. Tracy Nolan is with our Redbird Mission Outreach. She's the community's activity coordinator there, and she's on our coalition. And then we recently had a vacancy. We do partner with the Clay County Extension Office, but they are in the process of personnel changes. So we've got a vacant position there now, but we're hoping that as they get a new position there, that they will join our coalition. So we're excited for that. So just looking at Clay County at a glance, Clay County's population is 19,901 with a life expectancy of 71.7 years of age. The demographic makeup would be the race of 94.4% white, 4.0% Black or African American, 0.2% American Indian, 0.2% Asian, and then 2.1% Hispanic or Latino. Clay County's poverty rate is pretty high right now. It's 34.9%. So, you might as well say over 1/3 of us are living in actual poverty with an unemployment rate of 8.2%. And just as a note, the Washington Post did name Clay County as the unhealthiest county in Kentucky in July of 2010. That's kind of a dark period in our history, but I thought it warranted mentioning. It kind of made us bristle when we read that because nobody wants to be known as the unhealthiest county. But I do think, on a positive note, it kind of sparked organizations like the Clay County Diabetes Coalition to, if they came in here and named us that, we wanted to see if there were any valid points to it. And of course, there are some valid points, but we just wanted to, kind of let everybody know that we're not really considered the worst. We don't consider ourselves the worst county in Kentucky or even nationally, but we just kind of wanted, everybody to know that there are some good things going on here, specifically with diabetes. Like, we are trying to turn things around. So just some more numbers. The diabetes prevalence rate here is 34.9%, which is a pretty high percentage. The obesity prevalence is 40.2%, which is even worse. Some of the challenges that we face here, of course, would be poverty, the unemployment rate, transportation or lack of transportation issues here, and of course, chronic diseases. So regarding the Clay County Diabetes Coalition, we have had several projects over the past few years that we kind of like to brag on. We've had the Diabetes Walk with the Clay County Extension Office. Like I said, we do like to partner with other community partners to have events geared toward the people of Clay County. The Volunteers of American Freedom House Garden Project we had. The Couch to Clay running program with Be Healthy with Beth. We had that. That was a really successful event. Family Fun Night with Be Healthy with Beth. We also have the Diabetes Support Group with the Clay County Extension Office. We've had a Zumba Diabetes Awareness event that happened. We have Diabetes Awareness Day that we partner up with the Clay County Fiscal Court. We've also had the Walk Across Clay County event, and that we partnered with Clay County Public Education with that. We did Family Fun Kits with Redbird Mission, and we did a Family Fit Day with Be Healthy with Beth. And the following are just some pictures of these events. So this one is the Family Fun Fit Day in April 2021. And if you'll remember, that was when we were in the throes of the COVID pandemic, and everything was pretty much shut down as far as public events. But even though people weren't allowed to go out and like the schools were closed and stuff, we still had opportunities where people would actually get out and try to get people out and do things that are, fun and for activity. Because we know that during the COVID pandemic, when everybody was forced to stay in, we know that mental health suffered as well as physical health. So we tried to partner with some of these community partners to get people to come out and do things. And if you look really closely at some of these pictures, everybody was safely wearing their masks. So we were practicing safe COVID procedures. All right, this picture is the National Diabetes Awareness Day. So in November, everybody knows, of course, November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. So what we try to do here as a coalition is in November of every year, we as a coalition will go to the Judge Executive's office here in Clay County, and he signs a proclamation declaring November the 14th as Diabetes Awareness Day. So if you'll see there, we did it in 2019, 2021, and 2022. So we must have not been 2020 because of the COVID pandemic, I'm sure. But we plan on doing that for 2023 as well. We have a new judge executive, so we will be visiting his office in November to get the proclamation signed by him as well. This picture is the Diabetes Coalition setting up an information table at the Redbird Health Employee Fair. So they have a successful employee health fair every year, and they always reach out to us for us to come over and set up a table. And so that's Marsha and I setting up at that event, and it's very successful. We had several people come over to our table and get information. And of course, we had promotional items to give them as well. This is a very successful event that we do periodically. We partner with the University of Kentucky, that's Kentucky Home Place. And what they do is, this is called a diabetic shoe clinic. And it's basically a program that's geared toward those people that receive Medicaid and Medicare. If you receive Medicaid or Medicare and you are eligible to qualify for a free pair of diabetic friendly shoes. And these are really nice shoes. These are not cheap shoes. These are the name brand, really good quality shoes. And all you have to do is you get a statement from your doctor and they fill out the paper. And then you come to this diabetic shoe clinic. And what they do is they measure you for your shoes. And then within a few weeks, they will order them and they'll call you and you get to come in and pick up a free pair of shoes. So if you'll see the lady in the bottom right-hand corner, she's received her shoes for that day. And then the other pictures are just pictures of our information table where we set up as these people come in. We've got information regarding diabetes and promotional items to give them.
Hey, Tammy, I have a question about that,
Go ahead.
about that diabetic shoe clinic.
Mhm.
You said it's with the University of Kentucky.
Yes.
Is there anything outside of let's just say, is it promoted in a way that it's not just one day clinic, or is there a referral system or something like that? Like if people come through your doors that, you promote, the shoe clinic, or is there resources that they can get shoes outside of just the event?
Actually, if they were interested in getting it, what they would do is reach out to Kentucky Home Place and just express an interest. And I'm sure that they would be able to do that. The reason why they do it as an event is they just feel like if they go out to the communities, they'd be able to reach out to people as opposed to, expecting the people to try to contact them. But yes, I do think that if somebody, were interested in, they could certainly call Kentucky Home Place and they could take their information over the phone as far as a referral.
And Kentucky Home Place, just refresh my memory. That organization, they're in the home? Are they like healthcare?
They're healthcare, yes.
Okay.
So it's through the
Workers.
University of Kentucky, and what they do is they just kind of address the needs of people. They provide more than diabetic friendly shoes. They do glasses, hearing aids. They help them with housing. It's just anything. They're kind of like a case management organization, if you will. But it's really good. They have provided a lot of services to these people that, need the services. So yes.
Great. Thanks.
You're welcome. So this picture, it kind of makes me proud. So in the midst of the COVID pandemic, actually probably right in the early days, because I remember this picture well, like it was in maybe March of April of 2020, when everybody was still afraid of even coming out, we actually had this project. We worked with the Volunteers of America Freedom House. And so what the Volunteers of America Freedom House is, it's a home that's geared for young mothers in recovery where they can go and live in this house with their children, and they get to stay there, and they have a place to stay. They have a bed to stay in and, food on the table. So they're not on the streets. So we knew that during the COVID pandemic, these ladies were probably more isolated than anybody. So we wanted to kind of reach out to them to give them something to be able to do outside. They can go outside of their home and do something. So we provided the supplies for a raised garden bed project. So as you can see there in the middle, we purchased the blocks and we gave them garden tools as well as plants. And we just gave them the materials. And we had the actual raised gardens built. Somebody built them for us, and then they got to raise the plants. And that was in March of 2020. And I'm happy to say that I was at the Freedom House earlier this spring, and they are actually using their raised garden beds. So it is a sustainable project. They are still raising their own vegetables. And what they have to do at the Freedom House is they do have to do chores there. They have to cook. They have to, cook their own meals. So they're actually raising their own fresh produce, and they get to take it to their dinner table and they get to cook it. So I was just really happy to see that when I was down there 4 years later, that they were still doing something that we kind of started, because we all know with grant funding, once the money's gone and you're gone, you always worry about your products being sustainable. So I'm happy to report that this one is.
Yeah, that was that was another question that I had wrote down, was about the sustainability of some of the one-time events, or projects that you put forth,
Right.
because like you said, that grant money is often gone.
Mm-hmm.
And, the vision is that, you take the grant money and then you plan and try to get these programs to be sustainable on their
Right.
own, so that you guys
Right.
don't have the hands-on anymore. The
Right.
people are actually,
Mm-hmm.
sustaining it on their
Yes.
own. So that's great. I'm
Yes.
really glad to
Thank
hear
you.
that.
Thank you. And this one is the Clay County Diabetes Support Group. So we partner with the Clay County Extension Office. And what we do is we provide a diabetes support group every quarter, every 3 months. And it's geared toward those people that have diabetes. So they can come to, this is actually at the Clay County Extension Office. And they come together, like I said, quarterly. And what we do is we provide an educational component of a little, usually helpful information about diabetes. I'm the one that provides the educational component. So I try to gear it around usually the seasons. Summer, living healthy in the summer with diabetes, living healthy during the holidays with diabetes. So I try to provide that. And then Laura Howard, who is no longer with the Extension Office, she has retired. So they, like I said, they are in the midst of personnel changes. But we would have her to provide a cooking demonstration, a diabetic friendly cooking demonstration, and everybody seemed to enjoy it. And like I said, we do that quarterly. So the next one should be coming up in September of this year. And hopefully we'll be able to get a lot of people to come out. We did have some challenges because right in the midst of the COVID pandemic, we had to we had to kind of shut everything down. So we have been doing it on a virtual basis, but we're trying to gravitate toward getting people to come back in and come in person.
Tammy, is that just a 1-day thing?
Yeah, it's just it's a 1-day thing, and we do it like usually around lunchtime, and it's usually maybe a couple of hours.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you encourage repeat visits for the same people to come back? And do you?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I try to reach out, especially the ones that come. We try to form relationships with them and try to encourage them to come back, and as well as invite new people. So we're always looking for new people to come to our group, because we know that diabetes is prevalent here, and we would just love to see, people come out by the droves to, come to these groups. And we also know that when you have diabetes, you do need support, because, people need to.
Yeah. Thank you.
People need to, get support and be with other like-minded people who are going through the same challenge. So we try to encourage that as much as possible. And lastly, just a statement to say that the Clay County Diabetes Coalition is committed to improve the overall health of our community. We realize the challenges and obstacles that we continue to face on a continuous basis, but we're determined to utilize our resources and opportunities that will allow us to educate and promote the well-being in the field of diabetes. So does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask me, or any comments?
I'm too busy writing to ask.
Okay. And we're always looking for ideas. Like when I come to this meeting and I hear what you all are doing, I think you all are saying something about Walktober. I was thinking, we need to do that. Always looking for stuff to do to get people to be healthier in regards to diabetes. And I love to hear ideas, what you all are doing, because that sparks us to do similar projects. But I appreciate it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so this might be a good time, since we've got, time on here. you were interested, Tammy, in the Walktober, and Susan, I'll let you kind of just kind of update us on that project and kind of how you got started and things. I know, but everybody else doesn't know. So you tell the story.
Well, my boss, Karen, had attended one of these, and one of the other groups, and Sheila, I don't remember who it was, had done a Walktober. It is to promote a walking commitment for the month of October. You register for it. There were giveaways, T-shirts, walking sticks, and we are a 3-county group in our organization. So we're going to encourage all 3-county participation. They will register. We're hoping to have shirts and maybe flashlights, safety vests, that kind of thing, reflective bands for safety. We're hoping to encourage groups to maybe compete with each other. You commit to walk a certain amount throughout the month of October. We want to have a kickoff bash, and we hope to have a wrap-up party with a red carpet at the end for the ones that excelled, and recognize groups, organizations, schools, churches, any kind of groups like that would like to be involved, or individuals. We just want to get people out and moving and promote overall health. It takes about 3 weeks to establish a habit. So if we can get people to walk for a whole month, then they're in it. They've got the habit going. So you all say prayers for us. We're in the planning process. We're getting down to the wire.
Yes. And Tammy, at that the group that we had presented here back in, I want to say April, was the Lake Cumberland Health District there in Kentucky with Vicki Alberson and Janet Coward. And so that was their presentation on this. And Karen Reed, Susan's colleague, was on that call. And so that's kind of how it all, I don't know, it all transpired. And then I got Vicki back on a Zoom with Susan and Karen, and I believe you're all's grant writer.
Yes, Abby.
Abby, on the call, and they just really just brainstormed. I just set the call up, and everybody else done the work. But they just really Vicki just walked through, how they coordinated that event, and some of the tips and tricks of the trade. Because Vicki and them have done this now consecutively, I guess, for 3 or 4 years or so.
Yeah, and she was very gracious to share everything with us.
Yeah, all the tools and things like that. So, if you're interested in that, I'm happy to work things back around and circle back, and you meet with her, and I'm happy to set all that up again.
All right.
And I can also send you that PowerPoint.
Okay, great.
Vicki did, so you can kind of take a look at that. The initial one in April.
Okay.
And that way, if you still have, want more information or whatever, then we can go from there and kind of get you guys together.
Thank you. I would,
yeah.
I'd like to see that for sure.
Sheila, could you send me that also, since I wasn't on the April call?
Yeah, I sure will.
Okay.
I'll make note of that right now.
I'd appreciate it, just to get some more ideas.
Yeah, this was the initial, we did it here on office hours, Vicki, and okay, got that written down. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything, or comments that you want to share with Tammy, or things that you guys are doing that that you just want to tell us about?
One thing that we're doing down here in Mullins in October is we've mapped off, it's like a little circle through town that's a half a mile. And so we're going to get some wood and make some little signs to put down in the ground that would be, permanent, and have motivational things written on them about walking. So that's what we plan to do in October down here, and try to encourage through our social media for people to get out and walk.
Oh, that's great. Now, are you guys doing the signs? Is somebody doing the signs for you?
Volunteers.
Okay.
We've enlisted some volunteers, and we're going to make the signs and put them throughout the town, through the little, half a mile area.
I love that idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just came to my mind. I don't know if you're doing this, Christy, but I don't know why. It would be pretty cool. I was someplace, I think when I was on vacation this summer, and I was on a walking in a little park, and they had these things that like it was a picture, an opportunity for a picture. And so it was it promoted walking, but it was also one of those things where people could just do selfies.
Uh-huh.
Have that background there, and that was kind of how that was promoted.
Yeah, I think that's neat.
I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah.
Selfie stations.
Yeah, selfie station. Yeah,
That's cute. That's a
that's
good
the word
idea.
I was looking for. I seen it, we did it, but I just don't remember the name of it or anything. But yeah, those types of things are, people just love stuff like that, and it's just a matter. We had a lady in our little town that we had a lot of dilapidated buildings and things that, and she took it, the women's club there took it upon themselves, and they got permission, from the city council and things, but they actually painted flowers and murals on some of these old buildings. And that just made the downtown just look so, the buildings are still empty, but the outside is really, it's spruced up, and just gives a better feel when you go downtown and you want to use the sidewalks and that kind of thing.
I had a question. What did you do for Diabetes Awareness Day? We planned some events in November at the library, and just wondered what kind of activities or things that you did for those days.
Are you asking me?
Whoever has ideas.
Well, we center that Diabetes Awareness Day around that proclamation. We always try to make sure that we visit the judge executive's office and get that photo op. We published it in the paper, and we put it on social media. So we kind of center it around that. And then as far as National Diabetes Awareness Month, which is the entire month, we just kind of try to put out information. We put out some PSAs and some social media content, just highlighting diabetes awareness. So that's basically what we do.
Yeah, so we did 3 events at 3 different libraries last year, 3, maybe 4 actually, and had glucose screening, blood pressure, had like a presentation from a doctor. Extension actually came, and you could plant an herb for indoor herb gardening. One of the health plan, I guess the health plan maybe came. Just had, we had a cooking demo. That's right. 2 of the locations, the bigger locations, we had a cooking demo, and I guess we gave out produce at each one of the stations, each one of the events.
I will add that we have an excellent physical activities coordinator here, Tammy Jones, who is always promoting Awareness Month, and she's quick to want to do something in November, like a Zumbathon in awareness of diabetes. So she's always good to step forward and do that with us, and we appreciate that.
It's a good idea.
I think Tammy, I think I trained her in general yoga when I was there last year, I think. Are you guys still doing that?
Actually, I didn't get trained. You trained Marcia and Laura, and yes,
Okay.
they are doing that. And we actually we're in the process of applying for a chat funding, which will help us continue the gentle yoga. So yes, we are doing that. That's still ongoing.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Great. Does anyone else have any questions for Tammy or comments or updates with what your coalition's doing?
We just completed another Dining with Diabetes class. It's a 4-week program that Karen teaches with the extension agent who does the cooking. And we had a reunion last week. They come back after a few months and tell us how they've done, what they're doing, if they're measuring, reading labels, doing their exercises. And it was very good, a lot of good outcomes. One of our dentists spoke to them about oral health, and a physical therapist came and talked about neuropathy and exercises for balance, they were very interested in hearing both of what those ladies had to say. So that's what we've been doing, besides planning Walktober.
I know that's got your all's hands full. That's a big event. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys are gonna, I think you guys had talked about weaving that into the Bridge Day there, or no?
Bridge Day will be the third Saturday in October, so it will be during Bridge Day will be during our time. And also we're having a health fair right before Bridge Day, so we're going to promote. It's never too late to start.
Right.
So if they haven't started, we'll have information at the health fair so they can jump on board with us.
Yeah. Okay. All right, great. All right. Anything else, guys? I have on my list here, Susan and Tammy to send you guys the PowerPoint that Vicki did on Walktober back in April. If anybody else wants that, I'm happy to send that to you too, Christy or Danny. If either one of you ladies want that, I could do that. And then this PowerPoint and recording session will be available probably sometime next week, and I'll be sure to send that your all's way as well. But that's my to-do list after this
Thank
call.
you.
You're welcome. Okay. Anything else? If not, I will let you guys get back, and you guys can sneak out for a while, maybe take a walk.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much. It was
everybody,
really informative.
Yeah, and thank you for
Yes.
listening.
Yes, thank you,
enjoyed
Tammy.
it.
I appreciate
Thanks,
you so
Tammy.
much. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today.
Everybody have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.